Welcome, man. Oh, the coach. Nice to meet you. Thank you. I will mention let me smile to the camera.
All right, Nnamdi Kanu's court trial has actually resumed today, and as the case may be, we are hoping and we are very much optimistic that the trial judge, Justice Momotosho, will do the needful for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because a lot of things is on stake currently, starting from the e-health of Nnamdi Kanu, to the current situation of what Nnamdi Kanu continues to pass through in the DSS custody. But before we go fully into the main trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, now let us give you, a hint of what to expect in court today pertaining the court trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because the needful has to be done in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as the whole Biafrans all over the world are hoping for the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We'll give you more information on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial, but meanwhile, enjoy the full details of what to expect in court today.
Ikpe mala eziokwu, unless mo bụ ikpe mala eziokwu, because ikpe ọbụla mala eziokwu n'ụwa aka azụ nọ na ya. Unless mo bụ ikpe mala eziokwu. Ikpe na-amakwa eziokwu, which we all know. Mana aka azụ ya dịrị iwu, ọ nọ n'iwu na aka azụ nọ na ya. Oh yes. Ọ bụ iwu riri iwu riti na aka azụ balị ya. Before ikpe ama eziokwu n'ụwa aka azụ ya barịrị ya, ọ nọ n'iwu. So you cannot provide evidence, even though your own law does not support sedition. You are still here telling judge, a learned judge, educated judge, that it was because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's sedition that police, you say 170, you were recording it, yet you did not bring evidence. You said his sedition caused the death of 170 security agents, when you know there is no sedition in your law. You are trying to explain to the judge that is higher than you in law without evidence. You believe that after the explanation, judge will now say, okay, because you made a speech all the way from London. Udegi na ede na London. Ikuroku na London, udegi na ede na Nigeria. No be juju be that. And some individuals have shame to talk about it in the court. In the court. The defendant made a broadcast. He proudly declared himself as IPOB leader. Are we not the one he's leading? Did we dispute it? Why are you the one to dispute it? You come from the West and you want to dispute it? Are you the one he's leading? Does IPOB have any business in Yoruba land? Do we have any business in Lagos State? We don't have any business in Lagos State. And I had somebody, oh, the sabotage is too much in this struggle. The sabotage is too much. I had somebody trying to sabotage our people in Lagos State just a couple of days ago. I'm going to use that for my broadcast. I will use that for my broadcast. Somebody was trying to sabotage the Igbos in Lagos on a live program. Somebody who claimed to be a commander was openly sabotaging the entire Igbo people in Lagos. And that person knows very well what he is doing. And that person knows very well that there is a man who called himself Igbo something Igbo chief or SND Igbo na Lagos, who is still behind bars for the past 1 year now, simply because he said he's going to ask ESN to come and defend them in Lagos. Simply because of that, knowing fully well that that man did not commit any offense. But Nigeria, through the authority of who is the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, kept him in custody till today for the past 1 year. That man, nobody's even talking about him. Just because he said he's going to request ESN to come and defend them in Lagos. Somebody who called himself a commander day before yesterday in a live program made a speech that Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Defense Force Lagos branch is ready. Shame on you, you saboteur. Do you have the capacity to defend Igbo people in Lagos against Nigeria? In Lagos? Igbo businessmen in Lagos, do you have the capacity? People are opening their mouth wide open, talking rubbish on social media, in the public. You know very well that that was a sabotage, a very big sabotage. Again, not just against Biafra, but against the Igbo race in Lagos State. You know it. But this very broadcast is not for that. I will come to that. I will definitely come to that. I will come to that for sure. I will come to that. A sabotage. It was. The defendant made a broadcast. He proudly declared himself IPOB leader, even when he knew that IPOB had been proscribed. He made a broadcast that the world will come to a standstill. Is that a crime? We want to see what the same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. Even when he knew that IPOB had been proscribed. Before IPOB was falsely proscribed, you know, which word am I going to use? Criminally proscribed by a criminal. before IPOB was criminally and illegally proscribed. Illegally as a terrorist organization, because there was no any any law or court that imprisoned IPOB for terrorism. Oh yes, there's no court in Nigeria that imprisoned IPOB as a terrorist. So how can the leader be a problem? How can you proscribe it? How can you proscribe it when there is no court that has imprisoned it as for terrorism? Who proscribed IPOB? Dev Omahi and the late Buhari proscribed IPOB. Did you bring any evidence? How are you unaliving people at the same time tag them terrorists and proscribe them? You have started the shooting already. You have shot us at Mpo. You shot us at Head Bridge on it. You shot us at Aba High School. In the midst of Operation Python dance, you proscribed us. While you are killing us, you are proscribing us at the same time. At that same moment, Boko Haram was wreaking havoc in the north. At that same moment, Zamfara is on fire by the so-called bandits. Till today, they are bandits. Instead of calling them terrorists, they choose to call them bandits. Till today, herdsmen under Mieti are still wreaking havoc. As I'm talking to you now, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday was Friday. On Thursday, 27 people, official number, massacred in Plateau State. 27. And it's not making round the internet. People were busy talking about the death and burial of Buhari, a man who has died since. Why people are being unalived in their farmlands in Plateau State that same day before yesterday, on the 16th. That same day. And here you are talking about a broadcast. Are you not ashamed of yourself that you are keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for the past 5 years in the custody just because he made a broadcast and he said he's a leader of IPOB? Are you the one he's leading? The answer is no. Did any of his people complain that he's leading them or he's leading them wrongly? The answer is no. Why are you bothered? Why are you bothered, Nigeria? The law of Nigeria prohibits words capable of making Nigerians live in perpetual fears. Tell us where that law is. Now we have come. The law of Nigeria prohibits words capable of making Nigerians live in perpetual fears, threatening to bring Nigeria down. The aim is to create Biafra. Is it a crime? That's my question. And not a mere boasting. And there are consequences for such boasting. The lawyer argued. We want Awomolo to tell us, you don't just say the law of Nigeria. Give us the constitution number so that we, as I am live on air now, I can be able to bring it. It is my job as an investigative journalist. I will bring it. We will read it and interpret it. That is what we are doing here. Don't just tell us the law of Nigeria. Tell us where, article what. Give us quotation. So we read it. The Google is here on my front. We'll browse it and bring it up. We'll read it and interpret it. Oh yes, but of course they cannot. You are lying to the judge, thinking that the judge is a coward. You think that the judge does not know law. Awomolo pleaded with the judge. Awomolo This is where we wanted to arrive. We wanted to arrive here. You see, all the things he has been saying is just like the same thing the so-called witnesses were saying during the time of witnesses. He has nothing to offer. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, Awomolo begged the judge to reject the no case argument by Kanu, but order him to enter his defense in the charges against him, adding that the no case application was misplaced and misconceived. Even though Mazi Nnamdi Kanu enters argument, can you defend him? Can you defend the questions he's going to ask you? Even if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu enters argument, can you defend the questions? Me. If I ask these Awomolo questions, I swear he will never have any answer to it. Forget politics. Throw politics in the garbage. Let us talk reality. If I ask Awomolo, what was our crime that Nigerian army has to maul Igbo youths in Mpo? Can Awomolo give me a genuine response to that? If I ask Awomolo, what was our crime that Igbo youths have to be unalived at Aba High School? That I'm talking about when there was no ESN, or when there was no Biafra Liberation Army, when there was no even the so-called prescription, proscription. There was no proscription. Can Awomolo give me a response? Why should Igbo youths be mauled at Onitsha Head Bridge in 2017? Awomolo, can you give me a tangible response with clear and substantial evidence why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was enjoying his bail in 2017 after spending almost 2 years in Kuje prison? Can you give me the reason why and what the Nigerian army was looking for in his compound? Awomolo, can you answer that? Can you respond? Awomolo, can you give me a tangible answer with a substantial evidence why the Igbo people have to be dehumanized? Can you give me the reason why Nigeria will not listen to the Igbo race when they say they want to be free from Nigeria? At least listen to them and ask them, why do you want to leave? As in, call a conference. Or are you telling me that Igbo as a bloc, we do not merit a roundtable discussion with Nigeria government? Or rather sending the army to come and kill our youths? Awomolo, can you tell me the reason why Igbo race will be neglected within Nigeria with all our exploits and expertise? Awomolo, can you give me the reason why Nigeria has to break the international, laws and treaties and travel all the way to Kenya to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Can you give me a tangible reason to that? The answer is no. Awomolo, can you give me the reason why you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial in Nigeria, knowing fully well that Nigeria has already committed a crime for kidnapping him in Kenya? Awomolo, can you answer? You don't have any answer to give. Awomolo, can you answer why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should stand trial in Nigeria? You can't. You don't have any question to answer. So the best thing to do is to end the case. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, I have no case to answer. End it. Let everybody go to your tent, O Israel. Because if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu begins the argument, you cannot give the answers. The first answer, give me the reason why I will stand trial. If I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the first question, you want us to argue this case, right? Then give me the reason why I will stand trial in Nigeria after committing a heinous crime. International crime. International, yes. International crime. How do I stand trial in the zoo? Can you give me the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not released after Court of Appeal said that Nigeria has committed a crime against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by kidnapping him and renditioning him to Nigeria outside the rule of law? Ahomulo, can you answer that? You don't have any answer to give. You don't have any answer. Why should Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stand trial? Why should he start the argument? Can you answer that? Or you want to play down the gravity of the crime committed against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the Federal Republic of Nigeria? You want to play it down? You want to play down such high level of crime? It is not possible. Before any argument will start, you have a question to answer. If you don't have the answer, take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back to Kenya and they compensate him with Biafra. The only compensation we need now is Biafra. Only. Now, however, Kanu, through his lead counsel, Chief Kanu Agabi-san, had faulted the prosecution of his client in the charges and asked the court to discharge and acquit him. You see, I did not read here. Honestly speaking, I love that, has faulted the prosecution of his client. Imagine. I haven't read it. I only read it now. Me and you. Maybe I said because on the screen where maybe you must have read it before me. You listening to me, no, we keep because it has been on the screen since engineer Kwoku. You see, he faulted the prosecution of his client. Why wouldn't he fault it? It's fault. You can never build a house on a sand. You can't. Because once that house has a faulty foundation, it can never stand. There is no any amount of pressure or pillars that will make that house to stand. There's no amount of pillar you will give that house to make it stand. Once the foundation is faulty, it will never stand. So, Kanu Agabi-san, Chief Kanu Agabi-san, faulted the prosecution of his client. Yes, because it's faulty. You can't kidnap. That's why they just allow them to be bringing all those useless, so-called witnesses. And they are just looking at them laughing. They're not there for case. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not there for case. When you are done, you release him because there will be no case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There will be no case. Because you cannot build a house on a faulty foundation. You can't. A house can never be built on a faulty foundation. Because no matter the pillars, it will never stand. It will stay fall because the foundation is faulty. You cannot commit a crime and expect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial on top of your criminality. Nah. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. Now, among others, Agabi said that throughout the proceedings, no single witness was called to tell the court how was incited by Kanu to take to violence. You see? How was incitement by Kanu? How was incited by Kanu to take to violence? Yes, no evidence to prove that you say Kanu made a broadcast and people were unalive. You did not bring any evidence. You just said it. You just said it. Do you bring any? Is there any connection to prove that we are doing this? The reason why we are unaliving this policeman is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us to do so. Did you bring any evidence like that? You only played a broadcast, and then you began to tell George, buo mmadụ 27, buo mmadụ 100, buo mmadụ 50, buo ndị nke ọzọ. All those people that have been unalive in Kaduna. In fact, today now, as people were unalive, again, today, let me even look at that headline, because I've gotten another news today, that people have been unalive again in the same Plateau state. Today. Now, it's actually not quite long ago. Let me check that headline. So who told them to go and unalive them? Who told them? Who told them? Buhari, the late Buhari, said if what happened in 2020 what? In 2011, if what happened in 2011 happens again in 2015, the baboons and monkeys will be soaked in their blood. That was the word of the late Buhari. And in 2015, people were unalive. People have already begun to run helter-skelter, living in fears because of the word of Buhari, who arrested Buhari and who kept him in custody to come and explain why he said what he said. Or are you going to say it is because Buhari said the monkeys and bamboos will be soaked in their blood? That means those that have been unalived were unalive because of Buhari's statement. You didn't say that. Nobody said it. Nobody can say it because there's no evidence. When those people were unalive, the killers did not say, we are unaliving this person because Buhari sent us to go and unalive that person. There was nothing like that. Even if they said it, it can still be propaganda, just to incriminate somebody or just to make somebody look evil. You have to still bring connection. You must bring conversations, direct conversation, direct communication, where that person sends somebody to go and unalive that person. If you don't have anything like that, then shut your mouth up. Now look at it. This is, of course, published by Punch News. I don't want to remove this one so we don't digress. You see, headers unalive Plateau farmers over grazing on millet farm. Headers unalive Plateau farmers over grazing on millet farm. Now, these headers brought their cattle to millet farm. I don't know where is millet farm, but it's in Plateau State. Brought their cattle to millet farm and they are grazing. Now, these farmers say, how can you graze on this farm? They were unalive. Today, 18th of July, 2025. They're not talking about it. It was reported by Punch. Let me give you the headline so you can check it yourself. In this place, we don't do propaganda. Anything we tell you is gospel. The headline, headers. When I say unalive, you already know what I mean. I don't want to be using the word because it's not good to the social media that we are using. Headers, unalive Plateau farmer over grazing on millet farm. Millet, the words, the spelling of that millet is M-I-L-L-E-T. M-I-L-L-E-T. Check it on your own. You'll see it. So who sent them? Awomolo, who sent them to go and unalive them? Who sent them? Is it Buhari? Is it Tinubu? Tinubu kukwalunkie. Tinubu said his own in 1999. Mad people everywhere. Now, among others, Agabi said that throughout the proceedings, no single witness was called to tell the court how he was incited by Kanu to take to violence. You see, and now that the witnesses, no single witness was told the court how he himself, the witness. Boom. This is the bomb. This is now actually kita. Now I'm just understanding this. Now I read it before, but I didn't quite understand it, but I'm getting it now. That no single witness out of all the witnesses they brought, none of them said, I myself, me, myself, that I was incited by Kanu to take to violence or to go and commit crime. That I no witness told the court that I myself, as a witness, that Kanu incited me to take to violence. No witness did it. What they are telling us, oh, Kanu made a broadcast and people were unalive and people took to the street, people took to violence, this and that. They did not say, I am a witness that I took to violence because Kanu incited me. Nobody said it. At least that would have been a better evidence. Then what is a video of his own, commitment. Forget we don't even need direct conversation between you and the Kanu. We don't need it anymore. Just show us video of your own participation in that violence. We want to see your own video of your own participation in that violence. Show us the video. Ka malum ikwesị nọ nga ka ikwesị nọ na court na-ekwu okwu incitement. No, nothing. You see? Nothing. But here they are.